It's time to yet again watch another found footage Bigfoot movie. How many does this make now? About 6 billion? That sounds about right. This time we're watching Our Trip to Berribrook. And if you didn't know, Berribrook is a national park in Australia where a lot of people go missing, apparently. In our story, 3 friends went in and were never seen again. Quite an effective opening, even if it is pretty unoriginal. Max, Holly, and Joey are 3 vloggers that are excited to get out into the Australian woods and hunt for the beast of the Berribrook. They take an Uber to get to the park and annoy him the entire time. I hope they gave the guy a good tip. Once they get there, they do all the stuff YouTubers say when they head off into the woods. After a little while, they take a break to talk about the creature. 7 foot tall, covered in fur, and an overwhelming stench. Sounds like a Bigfoot to me. But do they have to throw in these annoying edits? I get it, it's satire, but enough's enough. The joke's over. They go deeper and deeper into the forest, apparently looking for a waterfall where the creature's been spotted before. On their way there, they talk about another group of vloggers that recently went missing. And I guess our trio plans on setting up camp right where they were last seen.
Okay.
They keep going, complaining about how their feet hurt already. It's been like 2 hours. If you can't walk for 2 hours, then maybe this trip wasn't a good idea. Well, eventually they make it to the waterfall, and yep, it's a waterfall. No signs of the beast, though. Joey hears something and takes off spooked, but it ended up being absolutely nothing. That happens a lot in this movie. After a while, they finally make it to the campground they're going to be staying at and set up for the night. Max tells a spooky story by the fire, and this is what I've been waiting for. I got all hyped up like this is going to be some crazy story about a Yowie or something. But no, it's just a lame ghost story. The one about the train conductor walking around the woods with a lantern. You know the one.
This story sucks.
It's true, babe. I'm so sorry if your story sucks.
Well, with everyone thoroughly disappointed, including myself, everyone heads to bed. In the morning, they continue on hiking, with Holly spewing out facts about wombats, which is actually more interesting than anything else going on in this movie.
Wombats poop cubes.
Okay, that is kind of interesting.
Yeah, like really.
So, it's a welcome addition. Later on, Max hurts his foot and stays back to take a little break, and when he catches back up, something does dart into the bushes. But it's quick, like blink and you'll miss it. They stop to look at some tree sap. Wow, how invigorating. At least at this point, the lame effects seem to have stopped. Even they knew it was annoying. They eventually catch a whiff of something gross and go off trail to see what it is. Once again, they take off running at nothing. And when they get their composure, they see a dude just standing there, watching them. It's kind of creepy. Max and Joey argue back and forth about how dangerous Australia actually is. Max thinking it's no different than any other country. But Joey's heard stories. Giant spiders, snakes, and even how koalas can kill people. That's right. Cute, cuddly koalas are known to hide out in trees, wait for their unsuspecting victims, and then drop on them, killing them, giving them the nicknames drop bears. Remind me to cancel my trip to Australia. Being satisfied with their adventure, even though they didn't catch the creature on tape, Max and Holly start doing an outro for the video, when Joey interrupts, having found something. A footprint. Apparently. It's not very clear, but it is enough to get everyone excited. So excited, in fact, that they run right off the trail and get lost. Even though, it's like literally right there. Just turn around and walk 3 steps. You'll be fine. But, okay, they're lost now. And with no map, compass, or GPS, they're kind of screwed. Eventually, they do find a trail, but it's not the right one. But still, it's a trail. They could follow it for a while and probably make it back. But instead, I guess they would rather just assume the worst. They're dead. First, they decide to stay put and wait for a search and rescue team. The sun goes down and now it's night, and time for another spooky story around the fire. This time, it's actually a good one about some girls that went missing in the woods. They found their cell phone and they used that to figure out that they had been walking for 7 days in a circle. And then one girl just fell off a cliff into the darkness. Furthermore, they found some Polaroids of nothing, just the forest at night. The police think that they were using the flash to see, but if you squint and look really close, you can just barely make something out in the shadows.
Well, night.
I'm pretty sure this story is based off of a real-life missing persons case. Chris Kremers and Lisa Ann Froon. A pretty eerie story that I won't get into here, but look it up. It's creepy. Anyway, after that, they go to bed and, in the middle of the night, wake up to something outside their tent. They hear it and take off running. Smart move. Get more lost. The friends run around in the woods all night and in the morning return. Alive, but defeated. They don't have any water and just a little bit of food. They debate on what to do next. Holly still wants to stay put, but Joey wants to try to find the trail. Just then, they hear a drone flying overhead. So someone is out there looking for him. That's a good sign. Even more of a reason to stay put. But what do? Yep, start walking around. Smart. Holly's eventually attacked by a bunch of birds off camera, but I assume it went a little like this. They walk around for a while, getting more and more lost. But again, they're on a trail. It's pretty clear they're not just walking through the brush. Just follow that to the parking lot. But instead, they climb up on some hill, see a tent, and run down to see that it was only their own. So they've been going in circles. Holly's done at this point, admitting that she was wrong about how great nature is. She thought it was a place of peace and beauty, but now she sees it's a bad place. Evil, even. Well, yeah, if you hike into the woods without any gear, what did you think was going to happen? Later on, they find the campsite of the vloggers that went missing earlier. And, well, yeah, they're dead. They rummage through their stuff to find a map and compass, so that gives everyone some hope, even though it didn't help the other campers out. Elsewhere, Max finds a water source, so things are actually looking pretty good at the moment. And then he hears a growl coming from the trees, and he takes off running. He takes a few minutes to fashion a spear and actually ends up fighting the creature, although he still doesn't get a good look at it. But in the end, he knows he killed it. Holly and Joey catch up to him, and they celebrate a bit.
It's dead.
You actually did it? We did it!
Then, after following the trail, make it to a road. Joey tries to call for help, but no signal. So he wanders onto the trail to see what he can get, which proves to be a pretty bad idea. Some white goo, which I'm going to assume is drool, falls from the trees, and Joey's taken out. After a while, Holly and Max split up to try to find their friend, and pretty soon, Holly sees that same drool, and she's taken out. Only Max is left, and he actually manages to reach Australian Parks and Wildlife. He says he needs help, but he can't describe what he's running from. He got a quick glimpse of it from earlier, but laughed at the idea, thinking that what he saw couldn't have been the monster.
I might know what they are.
They're really dragging this on for a while to try and build some suspense. What did Max see? Is it Bigfoot? Yowie? The ape man? No, it's a koala. What? A koala? Really? And I don't even think it's a giant one at that. Just a normal run-of-the-mill koala hanging out in trees. I know Joey hinted at this earlier when he was talking about the drop bears, but I had no idea they'd be the monster of the movie. And you can't blame me for thinking this was a Bigfoot movie, because even the description on IMDb says a Bigfoot-like creature. Well, I got news for you. Koalas aren't Bigfoot-like. The monster aside, our trip to Berribrook is nothing new. How many times have we seen this done? Howls, There's Something in the Pilliga, Evidence, Sawtooth. Personally, I'd recommend Bigfoot the Lost Coast tapes or maybe Willow Creek over any of these, Berribrook included. Not to say it's bad, but it's just not good. The camera looks decent, I'll give them that. It's not blurry or VHS quality, so that's good. And the actors actually kind of grow on you. At first, they're all pretty amateurish and kind of annoying, but after a while, it's okay. But they do make a lot of dumb decisions, like who doesn't think to bring a map or at least a little extra water when you plan on being in the woods for a couple of days? And the silly effects added in the first half hour would make most people turn the movie off. But get past that, and in the end, you're left with an okay found footage movie. But just remember, the monster ends up being a koala. I give our trip to Berribrook 1.5 drop bears out of 4.
Wombats use their butts to crush the skulls of their enemies. Wombats' asses are so thick that they'll use them as a shield. Wombats poop cubes.